paid us $10,000 to walk away from this property.
Oh, so you literally, you sealed the deal and turned right around and sold it for $10,000 more.
Yeah, we were.
You didn't even do anything.
No, we did half a day of demo, which is the funnest part of doing any kind of fix and flip. But yeah, it was so funny because one, had we not been educated, we wouldn't have known what to do.
Right.
Two, if we didn't have access to the classes to be able to give us a clear line of how wholesaling works, we would have been confused. Welcome back to the Renatus Jam. My name is Jay Stark. It's my pleasure to welcome you, and joining me, as always, is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder.
The crowd
goes wild because that's what I mean. We're just gonna have a wild crowd for you.
We have a large studio audience here.
It's very not large. Well, trying to be as compliant as possible. I'll let you know our studio audience is limited to.
Yep. Well, we have a large studio here.
Oh, and an audience. So I guess technically I didn't infer the comma.
We don't play those games here.
That's right.
So
hey, you know what? We have a couple of things that are new and exciting.
Yeah, what's up,
Mr. Snyder? Well, we have coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow, live education.
Okay.
So we have 2 brand new classes from 2 brand new instructors.
Yes. We've got Bill Predebon coming in and Umaer Haq.
So I love anytime that we are able to see a student turned professional investor turned practitioner turned instructor. And that's what both of these individuals have done. Bill Predebon has been with us since the very beginning, I believe, and has absolutely honed in his craft. So his class is called From the Ground Up, and he's going to talk about exactly what permits are needed for what level of tear down and rebuild of an existing property. So basically, if you were to take a property all the way down to the ground and then build it from the ground up, what permits would be required? Who do you need to be in contact with? Who do you need to be friends with? And understanding those timelines and understanding the process, the red tape that you have to go through. That's what this class is all about.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome too, because he is so passionate about real estate.
Yes.
We had him on the Invest Edge, which you should, and maybe, you know what, I'll link it down below, just like I did last time.
There you go.
Talked about it, and I put the link in the description. But yeah, his class, it's going to be, just after hearing him talk about it on the Invest Edge, is so good.
It's going to be amazing. And in it, he's going to address one other aspect of working inside of municipalities, and that is what happens when the zoning on your lot does not align with your ambition. So if you're looking to add either an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, or if you're looking to change the zoning altogether to go from a single family home to a multifamily unit of some sort, what kind of zoning changes are needed, and who do you talk to? How do you work through that process? He's going to go through all of that.
Yeah. It's going to be a really good class. And then Umaer talked about, he also did an Invest Edge, the first one, as a matter of fact, and talks about Trailerparks and how they are, I'm going to use the term in quotes, but recession proof, right? And the reason I use it in quotes is because when recessions happen and people downsize in life, in where they're living, trailer parks don't typically have that. You need a place to live. Most people stay in a trailer park or move down to one if the economy is bad, which increases the demand. And they're not making very many more trailer parks. It's not a thing that cities zone for. It's not a thing that it's easy to get zoned. Anyway, so the demand goes through the roof. The supply stays the same. And you're the one owning the trailer park. So it's a good deal.
It's not just owning the trailer park. It's the ability to leverage multiple streams of income from that mobile home park.
Yeah.
And so Umaer really gets into detail about how you acquire them, how you could potentially even seller finance them, how you could then, create some of your own rentals there in the park while having other people have the pride of ownership of their own little unit.
Yeah.
And then he just goes into it. I know that at the E3 summit earlier this year, that was the first time I'd heard Umaer present in front of an audience when he was talking about this, and I was absolutely blown away. And you could see it on people's faces, the reactions that individuals were having.
I was sitting in the back of the room, and you see what's going on. You see if people are kind of engaged, not engaged, whatever's going on. You're going to see it from the back of the room if you're paying attention. And when Umaer was going through the mobile home stuff, I literally didn't see a single phone out, a single head looking down. Every single person was looking at Umaer. He had the entire audience's undivided attention. I could tell that it was like, oh, this is what people want to hear. Like, they want to learn about this.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
And Umaer is another one of those individuals who started with Renatus, got his education, started getting engaged as an investor, went full-time as an investor, has now become such a practitioner that he is an instructor with Renatus. And that's going to be his craft, his excellence, what's the word I'm looking for? His intelligence, his...
Well,
expertise. There you go.
Yeah, it's also, I think he's passionate about it. Like, it's kind of, both of these instructors are so good. I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
Well, hang on. Sorry. I was cutting in my own mind there.
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
So your laptop is the issue because it's still flashing, even though I swapped that out. So will you unplug it? Do you need to use it today?
Well, I was going to, but I guess we don't have to. We could just talk about this for a couple more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't care about the flashing, then we can keep it in there, or...
No, we're good.
How is my laptop affecting the TV? That's the part I don't understand.
Because it's losing, it's trying to handshake, and so it keeps losing the source, and so all the sources coming into the cards are resetting.
Eesh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good. We'll be fine. Okay. His expertise. The cool part is that his expertise and his passion are going to be on full display.
Yep.
And just like you talked about with Bill, Umaer is equally as passionate about what he's doing. And I just love that. I love that excitement of a new instructor as they're bringing their craft to the forefront and then get to build in front of an audience the reality, the perspective that they've created on exactly how to leverage real estate today.
Yeah. It's fun, and it's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and one of my favorite parts about these live education opportunities is that you're going to hear from a practitioner, but you're going to hear about their real deals that they're doing today.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about how they are leveraging today's marketplace, whether that's the interest rates, whether it's the access to money or anything else. You're going to hear how they're making money today. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, isn't really investing in real estate kind of a foregone? It's gone. The opportunity is no longer there. Prices are so high you can't make money. And it's like, oh no. In fact, the most educated investors are absolutely killing it in today's market.
Well, yeah, because it has nothing to do with the price of real estate. It's how you can buy it. And educated people know how to buy it right.
Yeah.
They know how to find the sellers that are going to sell it for a discounted rate for whatever reason. And so, it doesn't matter if real estate is way up and expensive, because that's still the price that people buy homes at, right? And if you buy it for less, this is a quick lesson
in economics. Economics 101 here.
Yeah, right? You buy something for less, you sell it for more, you make profit.
Yeah. Chris Wilson was the first person I ever heard say that you earn your money when you buy a home, and you get paid when you sell it.
Yes. Yep.
And it's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And in any market, it doesn't matter if you are paying less than market value for a home. That means that anything between that price and the price you can sell it for is pure profit, just like you were just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the opportunity inside of real estate is not dead. Although I will highlight this, underscore this, print this in bold in every way that I can. Getting educated is the key to harnessing the power of any market. You know, I think about classes like Chris Albin's creative acquisitions and now his advanced creative acquisition strategies. Those classes are gold.
Yeah, they are.
Being able to find properties that people don't even know are on the market yet, that sometimes the owners don't even know are on the market yet.
I was just going to say that the seller doesn't even know they want to sell yet. So yeah, if you find the right seller, you buy it right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the market's doing as long as you bought it right and you don't mess up the deal with a whole bunch of money dumped into it.
There are so many nuances to ensuring that you're doing it properly, right? Not just acquiring the property properly, not just making sure that you're holding it correctly or that you are offloading, selling it, moving it into an exit strategy correctly, but it's also making sure that you're structured properly, making sure that you are paying your taxes correctly. You know, it's always interesting. So right now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Intuit is doing an entire campaign right now on how, you know, you get your first adult job, you make your first adult paycheck, you realize your first adult paycheck isn't enough to cover the rent, realize that you have to pay taxes on your adult paycheck, understand you've never learned how to pay taxes on your adult paycheck. And you know, it kind of walks through this whole scenario and it's kind of funny. And then of course it's all about, you need to leverage their services to get the maximum refund and all of this stuff.
Get a refund. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I just sit there and I think, you know, people that are getting educated, people that are proactively going after the education and are not waiting for the scenario to come to them first, those are the individuals that are going to be the best prepared. Those are the individuals that are going to be able to leverage the situation to their advantage in the best way possible. And as we've heard so often, it's not about not paying taxes, it's about not overpaying taxes.
Right.
Yeah. And so many times people overpay and don't even realize it.
And guess what? The IRS won't either. They ain't going to call you and say, hey, you overpaid on your taxes.
Right.
That doesn't happen. So you overpay them. And guess what? That is your gift to the government in probably 99% of the cases. I mean, maybe there are some certain situations where an audit happens, like, and they figure it out and call you. But with what I understand, that doesn't happen very often. So
I agree. And the part that I was really trying to highlight is that bringing in these two new courses into the Renata stable is just another exclamation point on the value of the Renata's education. You know, it's all about having access to an entire toolbox filled with tools. If you just have a hammer, the only thing you can do is what you can do with a hammer. But if you have access to the entire toolbox with every tool in it, now all of a sudden you can get as creative as you want to, and you can leverage those tools to their maximum capacity. And that's what Renata's is all about. It's about understanding every tool.
You know what? I liken it to chess versus checkers. I feel like a lot of the people out there that are like, well, I wholesale deals or I fix and flip deals or whatever, like that's their lane and they stay in it constantly. They're playing checkers. They've got kind of one thing they're doing with the board, but those that are playing chess know how every piece moves on the whole board, and they're, you know what I mean? You're making all sorts of different moves. That's the way to, like, you could come across a house and it's not a good fix and flip, but it might turn into a good wholesale deal, or for you or whatever. It might be a good deal for somebody else. So you could wholesale it, or it might be a good rental or whatever. But if you know how to get into those and do them right and make money, like, every house has way more options than just staying in your lane.
I can't think of a single deal I've done, and my wife and I, we've done over 50 deals now. I can't think of a single deal I've done where it has been a straight line from A to B. You know, we got into it the way we thought we would. We exited the way we thought we would. In fact, I remember one deal in particular. This was awesome. We got the deal. And we I'm trying to think of exactly how we acquired the property. I think it went into default, and then we negotiated with the homeowner. We took over the property, and literally we did that on a Friday.
So subject to, is that what you're?
Yeah. We took it over subject to the existing mortgage.
Yep.
I think we made one house payment. That was all. They weren't even that far behind. They just wanted to get rid of the property.
Oh, wow.
And we took it over on Friday, made one payment, got in there on Monday and started to do demo in the basement, started to pull out some just areas that needed to be fixed. This was our plan, was to do a fix and flip.
Yeah.
And here comes a knock on the door. Doo, doo, doo. And this guy walks in and he goes, "Hey, I'm not sure how you guys got this property as quick as you did." He's like, "But I'm doing 4 other properties down the street. I want this one."
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
He paid us $10,000 to walk away from this property.
Oh, so you literally, you sealed the deal and turned right around and sold it for $10,000 more.
Yeah, we were.
You didn't even do anything.
No, we did half a day of demo, which is the funnest part of doing any kind of fix and flip. But yeah, it was so funny because one, had we not been educated, we wouldn't have known what to do.
Right.
2, if we didn't have access to the classes to be able to give us a clear line of how wholesaling works, we would have been confused, or he could have taken advantage of us, or we would have just held to our guns and said, "No, we've got this, thanks." But in the end, it was going to take us a minimum of 4 months, and I think we were going to come out at $20,000 in profit.
Oh man,
and so
that's
to
a no-brainer.
Half of that
that's a no-brainer.
In a day,
I would dump it.
We were
in a
like,
heartbeat.
You know what? Here you go, man.
Yeah.
And so we signed it over.
Out.
Now it did take us a little bit longer to close, in full transparency, than we had imagined. It took us a week.
And that was longer than you anticipated.
We thought it would be just a couple of days. So it took us like a week to close.
A week's not bad.
But it was one of those things where, had we not been educated, had we not had access to all of the classes to give us all of the tools to let us know exactly how we could leverage this opportunity, and you know, I just love the education. Yeah. And I love that we have continual access to it. You know, I can't even tell you the number of times that we have started engaging with a property. I won't even say a deal, but we started looking at a property and we did the numbers and we're like, "Oh, this isn't going to work doing the numbers the way that we were doing them." So we were looking at it as a fix and flip or a buy and hold or whatever. But then all of a sudden you're like, "Well, wait a second. I remember hearing about another strategy in this other class. Let me go back and watch that right now."
Yeah.
You watch the class and all of a sudden you can reconfigure the deal and you go, "Oh, there's an opportunity here that I didn't see before."
Yeah.
That's
when you're playing chess.
That's when you're playing chess.
Yes.
You start pulling the knight out and you're taking these left angled moves and you're just like, "Yeah, that's right. That's how you do this." You know,
put the pawns away.
That's right.
It's time to make some moves.
I read somewhere, and I hope this is true, but I read that the knight is actually the number one piece in chess that causes checkmate.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I was reading about it just a little while ago.
Well, it comes at you in an L,
right?
So,
exactly.
You don't see it coming.
It's those surprise moves that you need to be aware of in investing, because that's what creates checkmate. When you understand so well how every single piece moves, not just in theory, but in practice, how every piece moves. When you can rely on the examples that are given by instructors that you can trust because they've been vetted and they have demonstrated consistency over time. Yeah, that's when you're playing checkers.
Yeah.
Or that's when you're playing chess.
Yes.
That's when you're no longer playing checkers.
Yes.
I can do this right. Anyway, I love the educational lineup, and I'm so excited that we're getting 2 new classes from student turned practitioner instructors. These are individuals who love the education as much as we do, who have seen the benefit of the education in their lives, because they've literally gone from brand new, just purchasing the access to the education, and now have adopted it so fully in their lives, so comprehensively, that they are our new instructors.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like the Renatus dream, you know?
It is.
It's the Renatus dream come true.
It is the dream come true.
I want to see more and more people get out there and become our instructors. I would love to see a whole new generation of instructor rise up through the ranks of Renatus. So people get involved today, and then in 6 months they start doing all of these deals and demonstrating a proficiency, and then, you know, down the road we're able to bring them into our stable of instructors.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I want to see all new instructors.
A whole package of instructors that came from the education themselves. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be all on board for that. That would be a cool package.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm excited about our opportunity for live education. If you are already an AIT Extreme Plus owner, then you will have access to the courses when they're released, but you can also participate by watching the live stream as we're creating the class or joining us in studio. I have several people, in fact, Ryan Dodge reached out to me today and said he has just secured his flight. He's going to be here.
Oh, wow. Really?
For the live education.
Oh, man, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, super
Looking forward
stoked.
to seeing you, Ryan.
Super stoked to see Ryan here. But if you are able to join us live in studio, that's always going to be the most effective way to learn, because you can interact with and ask questions to the instructor directly. If you can't join us online for the stream, or just look for it to come out when we're done with our production. You'll see it in, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, something like that. We'll have it ready to go.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, man, I love what we get to do. I love the people that we get to do it with. And I'm so looking forward to these classes.
Totally agree. I don't have anything to add. I love it though.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Bill and for Umaer to get out here.
Yeah. Both
Both of those instructors are going to be some new favorites of mine. I've got my favorites, but I can tell already that I'm really excited for them.
I am super biased, but there is one instructor that stands out
Well,
to me
of course,
above all others.
The hard money, private and hard money.
Yes, that lady, she is
Yeah.
out of this world.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She's a rock star.
Yeah.
Well, I want to remind you once again that the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the several people who are associated with us. That includes every single one of you. That includes you. That includes Mr. Peterson behind the curtain. I am so grateful for what we get to do and the people we get to do with it. Never forget, the Renatus rock.